All right, guys, so we're posting a lawnmower video today. Ordinarily I wouldn't post these on the Porsche channel, but we found some stuff out, and you guys would probably like to know this. So I thought it'd be definitely some information worth sharing. This is my Snapper 54-inch zero turn. We got about over 4 acres to mow with this bad boy. And so far, this is the 4th year this thing's been in service. Maybe 3rd year. I think it's the 3rd year. 2019 model. And never had any problems. It's still running the original belts. And it gets to stay inside 95% of the time, so that helps out a lot. And we had an issue with the original battery finally went dead. And what had happened here, we'll get Phil to come here and show you. Got some mud stuck in there. What had happened here, the original battery went bad. It wouldn't charge, it wouldn't register. We jumped it, and I started mowing. And, you know, 'cause at very first, it was just dead. So we thought, well, it was dead, right? Whatever. We jumped it, we started mowing. I mowed for about 15, 20 minutes. I noticed the blades started kicking in and out. And if I revved the engine and pulled the blades on, they would kick off immediately. Acting weird. I came back up here in front of the shop doors, turned it off, wouldn't restart. It was so dead that even the little hour meter wouldn't light up. And so I got all the tools out. We got our little multimeter out. The battery had 0. So I jumped it with our jump pack. While it was running and charging, it had like 4 volts. At max throttle, it had 7 volts. It was charging. Weird, huh? It should be around 13.8 when it's charging. So I put the battery scanner on it, and it wouldn't even read. It wouldn't tell me the battery is good or bad. I put the trickle charger on it, and it just would say, please connect battery. Like you couldn't even recognize it. So at that point in time, I knew we had a bad cell in the battery and probably shorted out. So replace that. Once we replaced that, then it was charging good, 13.8 volts. Everything was good, right? No, it wasn't. At that point in time, it was starting to run, but when I go to pull the blades on, the blades didn't work at all. So I went through the seat sensor. I'll let Philip come in here and show you. We bypass the seat sensor on these. You unplug it, you pull the little piece out of the plug, and that's it. That bypasses all of it. I'll throw that over there actually so I don't lose that. And hopped on it, started it up, nothing. Pull the blades on, nothing. Like no click, no nothing. You could turn the engine off, turn just the key on, pull the switch off and on. Absolutely nothing at all. You cannot hear the PCO clutch click whatsoever. So at that point in time, did some more research, and people said that the reverse lockout switches on the handles could be the problem. So after doing a bunch of research, there's a wire that goes from the harness down to those, and it's a purple wire. If you clip that wire, that disables the reverse switches. That's all under this plate. You could actually get to it. Well, if you take the battery out, you can reach up under there and get to it. So we clipped that, got back on her, hopped on it. Still no blade action, right? That was the only sensors that could be affecting that. Then I thought, well, let's go back to the PCO clutch. We unplugged the PCO clutch in the rear. We'll insert a picture here of that. And we had no power going to the clutch, but the clutch would click if you jump power to the clutch. We're kind of getting down to, at that point, there's not really a whole lot else. Left the key on too, might be dead. But we have the switch you pull off and on for the blades. Okay, so this is a switch. Most mowers like this have a switch like this you pull on for the blades. This switch is not, you're not able to open it up. Well, that's what they thought. They glued it shut or melted it shut so you can't open it. And I thought the only thing that could be wrong is this switch. Something when the battery went dead, it cooked the contacts in that switch. Now the factory switches on these are 5 amp switches. I noticed they sell an upgraded 10 amp switch for $15 on Amazon. I'll put a link below if you have this exact switch on your mower. So we took the plug apart, and we'll get Philip get in here, and we found the hot wire on this side. We found where we could jumper, or this one or this one, we could jumper it and click the clutch. One of these, you jump at the one of them, it starts the motor. Jump at the one, it taps the clutch. You test it with the meter, figure out which ones are ground, which ones aren't, and so on. So we know all the wiring works and the clutch works at this point. So we took a razor knife. Let's go to the workbench for this. Okay, so we already ordered the new switch for it, but it's not going to be in for 5 more days. We need to mow the damn grass. So when we try to jumper only the clutch on with that disconnected, the switch out, it jumps the clutch on, but then we can't start it. That disconnects the starter. I guess you could fix it by jumping a whole bunch of little wires across the plug, but who the hell wants to do that? So what we did, we just took a box knife, stuck the blade out a little bit. We kept cutting around the melted line on the bottom. Once we did that, you can take this out and wiggle it. See if I can't break it real quick. That'd be sweet. And this is what it looks like on the inside. And none of these contacts look bad at all. However, what is bad, or what is corroded, are these little bitty contacts down here. And that's the difference on a 10 amp switch. These little contacts are like twice as wide. So all I did was go in here and just kind of scrape the contact on each one. And did on all those sides. Then I took it like this, and very carefully put it back together like so. We put it back in, and lo and behold, that fixed it. So I guess the battery being low corroded that contact, one of the contacts, just enough where it couldn't make connection. And that's it. So we can put it in now. We go click the blades. We'll show you here. Okay, we'll demonstrate here for you. Let me get this going in here the correct way. Go just like that. And then we'll turn the key on. And then you can hear the clutch, PTO clutch, kicking off and on. That's it. Now, here's the thing. If you would have taken that to a shop and you just said, here, just fix it. How many hours do you think they would have messed around with that to figure out the switch was actually bad? Probably quite a few, probably most of the day. I messed around with it for several hours where we got everything tracked down and everything eliminated down to that switch. And so the moral of the story is, guys, don't give up. A lawnmower is not very difficult, a zero turn. You can kind of get to everything pretty easily. But still, there's enough stuff on it with all this new safety stuff to where you could have an issue and it could be kind of a bear to figure out. That's going to be it, guys. That's it for the snapper. This goes for Poland, Husqvarna, just tons and tons and tons of mowers use the same engine, the same setup. And even if it is a different brand that's a little bit different, it's all kind of the same thing no matter what. So take a little time, fix it yourself. We got this one done for $15. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.